Grimguard Tactics. It came out yesterday, so I've been playing it since yesterday. And I'm gonna just go ahead and give you my personal review of this game. So, cause you know how these mobile games be with the ads lately. Ads don't even be matching the gameplay. So let me just go ahead and give you the review. So, first things first, it's a tactical RPG game. But the thing that I want to clarify about this game is it does have the strategy element, unlike some other tactical RPGs, where it's basically just if you have strong characters, you win. The strategy you use actually has a huge impact on whether you can complete a lot of the missions or not. So just to go over the strategy real quick, first you have the standard affinity, where it's like rock, paper, scissors. Then you have like the positioning on the board, which at first I didn't really see the importance of. You know, it's a few scenarios actually that I've been using to help me get past some of the harder levels. For example, is this one right here. Let's say if I want my healer to stay in the back and not take any damage, or if I have a unit that's about to die, you can actually block off a melee unit and prevent it from being able to attack. But it's not even just cheesy tricks, just overall having good positioning will help you win a lot of your matches. The last element I want to get into as a part of the strategy, it almost mixes into the positioning a little bit, but I'm going to go ahead and give it its own category. Basically, the in-game interactable items. So for example, the barrels, it's like the healing scepter, and then it's the ability scepter. Also, just making use of those is pretty important. For example, if you like the healing scepter, you may not have a healer on your team, so you can use that and heal your team, or the ability scepter that refreshes the cooldown of your abilities, which is super useful. Then you have the attack and defense runes or tiles on the map that if you stand on them, they give you a defense or attack boost. That's important, especially if the enemy stands on it, because they really going to start dealing if they're on that attack tile, and it's the same for you. If you're on that tile, you're going to start dealing out damage. And then the barrels are pretty much a one-shot on most of the units. If it's not like a main unit, most of the side units get one-shot by that barrel though, so it's pretty strong if you use all those correctly. Along with just being mindful of the affinities and your positioning, I think you're going to be ahead of most players in terms of skill. Next, I'm going to just go over the overall layout of the game. So you got the three main game modes. You start off with campaign, then you unlock arena, then after that you unlock the dungeon. Maybe you unlock the dungeon before the arena. I forgot, I'm not going to lie. But I think you unlock the arena first. So basically, the campaign is almost pretty much self-explanatory. You start off in the campaign. It's where you get most of the resources to level up from. One of the most important. Then the arena is the PvP. Obviously, it's really not PvP. You're just kind of versing a person's AI, whatever they want to set their defense as. Pretty sure that's pretty much self-explanatory. And then it's like the ranking system and everything to that. Now, PvP is about pay to win as it get. Like I've said so far, like I don't think the game is really pay to win. Like I've seen some of these money hungry games go out. Obviously, it's going to be a pay to win aspect in every game, how much you really want to throw down. You could be pay to win if you want to throw it down like that, but even if you're like a free to play, you can still progress in the game without having to bust out the bank. So then last you have dungeon, which is pretty much like the survival mode, I guess. Before you enter dungeon, you pick your group, and then after you pick the group you're going with, you can't switch out. If one of them dies, you can actually revive them, but it costs the torch, which is basically like the energy system for the dungeon. And the thing with the dungeon, you're going to want to make it all the way to the end to get the max resources out of it. So if you go to the dungeon, just be ready to lock in with whatever group you choose. They also got like a dungeon for the whacker characters, like they call them the militia. So it's like the common and like the rare, I think. So it's the green and the gray. So if you have those whack troops, they're actually useful for the dungeon, but that's about it. I mean, they have some other uses, but yeah, for the most part. That's the three game modes. So I think they're pretty good. Based on how the energy works, you can probably, like, if you really wanted to, you could play like for a long time if you actually wanted to, just using the energy. from each system. Like maybe you start off in campaign, then you go to the dungeon, and then you play in the arena, something like that, and just cycle around. But that's just the idea. So yeah, that's the end of my brief review of this game. For anybody that's wondering if they should still get this game or not, I'd say just go ahead, try it out at least. It's a free game. If you don't like it, you can delete it. Especially if you like these like mobile RPGs, mobile tactical RPGs, or even gotcha games really, because it does have that gotcha element. Yeah, just go ahead, try it out.